Software risk and risk identification. A possibility of suffering from loss in software development is called a software risk. Loss can be anything: increase in production cost, development of poor quality software, or delay in completion of the project. Now, risk management is carried out to identify the risk, reduce the impact of the risk, reduce probability of risk, and risk monitoring. In today's video, we'll discuss the software risk and risk identification. Let us start. Welcome to our channel Engineering and Technology for You. If you are not subscribed to our channel, kindly subscribe and press the bell icon so that you get notifications for our future videos. The topic for today is software risk and risk identification. We'll start with the question: what is software risk and risk management? First, let us understand risk. Now, risk is an expectation of loss, a potential problem that may or may not occur in future. So it is generally caused due to lack of information, control, or time. So basically, risk is loss and it is uncertain. Now, in case of software risk, a possibility of suffering or loss from loss in software development process is called software risk. Loss can be anything, say increase in production cost, development poor quality software, or delay in completion of the project, so not being able to complete the project on time. So these are some of the losses due to risk. Software risk exists because future is uncertain and there are many known and unknown things that cannot be incorporated in the project plan. See, the process of software development starts with the project plan, and whatever we are incorporating in the project plan, it is not sufficient. So there are some things which cannot be known. So that's why the risk exists. Now we can divide the risk into two types. One is internal risk, that is within the control of the project manager, and external risks that are beyond the control of the project manager, because project manager is responsible for the project. So if there are conditions of risk which are under the control of project manager, we call them as the internal risk, and beyond the control of project manager, we call it the external. Now risk carried out, the risk management we carry out for what? Identify the risk, then reduce the impact of the risk, then reduce the probability or likelihood of risk, so the risk does not occur. And lastly, risk monitoring. So if it occurs, then we have to monitor the risk and see that the impact of the risk is minimum. So this is what we mean by the software risk and risk management. Now let us go further. Let us see the risk characteristics and categories. Now here we have already discussed the definition of risk. It is a loss and it is uncertain. So these are the two main characteristics of risk. So uncertainty, that is risk may or may not happen, that is uncertainty about the risk. And we can't say that there is no 100% probability of risk not occurring. So that is also not possible. So there is uncertainty, that is the first characteristic, and loss. Now, if the risk becomes a reality, unwanted consequences or losses will occur. So these unwanted consequences or losses, what we call it, that is, we already seen them. They delay in completion of the project or increase in the production cost. So these are the losses which will occur. So when we analyze the risk, it is important to quantify the level of uncertainty and degree of loss associated with each risk. The uncertainty and loss, these are the two characteristics of the. So when we are doing the analysis, at that time we have to quantify the level of uncertainty. That means what is the level of uncertainty we have to find out, and what is the degree of loss associated with each. So this is how the risk analysis will be carried. Now, in order to accomplish this, different categories of risk are considered. First is the project risk, then technical risk, business risk. Now all these risks, we categorize them into these three categories. We are going to see the details of them. Then another categorization proposed by Charette is known risk, predictable risk, and unpredictable. We'll see the details as we go further. So first is the project risk. A project risk, they are concerned with the whole project. That means it will threaten the project plan. So if the project risk becomes real, it is likely that project schedule will slip and the cost will increase. When the project schedule slip, that means we are uh, lagging behind in the schedule, then naturally the cost of the project will. Then secondly, project risk identify potential budgetary, schedule, personal. That means here we are talking about the staffing and organization. Then resource, stakeholder and requirement problems and their impact on the software project. So all these, the estimate of budget, schedule, and the staffing, then other resources. So all these things where we call it as the project risk. Then project complexity, size, and the degree of structural uncertainty are also defined as project risk factors. See, if the project is complex and large, then naturally that will be causing the risk. So it will be considered as a risk factor. Similarly, structural uncertainty, degree of structural uncertainty means the structure of the project. That is also very important. So when we are estimating the project in terms of complexity, size, then at that time, if it is not going to give us the correct estimate, that becomes the risk. Then let us go to the next risk, that is the technical risk. So technical risk, here it will threaten the quality and timeliness of the software to be produced. So if technical risk becomes a reality, implementation may be difficult or impossible, because technical risk identify potential design, implementation, interface, verification, and maintenance problem. So the technical risk, these are concerned with the basic design and then the implementation or the different interfaces in the project, software project, then also the verification and maintenance problem. That's why if the technical risk becomes reality, then it will be difficult or impossible to implement them. Then in addition, specification ambiguity, technical uncertainty, technical obsolescence, and leading edge technology are also risk factors. So here you have to understand this. Specification ambiguity. Already we are, if there is an ambiguity in the specification, then will lead to risk. It should be clear. Whatever specifications we are going to have, they should be clear. Then technical uncertainty. Now here, whatever in the project plan, we should have the details of the techniques which we are going to use. Or if some of the techniques they have become obsolete, they are no more used, so that also becomes risk. And then even the leading edge technology. Now leading edge technology, now these technologies, the team members may not know the leading edge technologies in depth, so that also becomes a risk factor. Then technical risk occur because the problem is harder to solve than you thought it to be. So here the whole team will face difficulty in solving the problem, because initially everybody thinks that it will be easy to solve it, but when actually in practice it will be become. Then let us go further. Business risk. So the business risk threatens viability of software to be built and often jeopardize the project or the product. That means the main whatever aim of the software development is to do the business, and if it is not going to be cost effective, then the whether to build the software or not, that will become a problem. So the 5 business risks are: building an excellent product or system that no one really wants, so that is a market risk. First we have to do the market survey and see the demand of the product. Otherwise you are building a excellent product, but then nobody wants, nobody will buy it. And secondly, building a product that no longer fits into the overall business strategy of the company. So the product which you are developing, it should fit into the business strategy of the company. Otherwise it will lead to the strategic risk. Then building a product that sales force doesn't understand how to sell. That means here it will lead to the sales risk. if your product is complicated, then now this sell people, sales force, what we call it, they are not much technical. So if they don't understand, then it will lead to the sale creep. Will not be able to possible to sell the product in large number. Then losing the support of senior management due to change in focus or change in people. So here, this is called as the management risk, as we are losing the support of the senior management. Then last is losing budgetary or personal commitment. So that is the budget risk. If the project cost goes on increasing, then it will lose the budgetary calculation. So that we call it as the budget risk. So these are the business risk. Then let us go to the next part, that is known risk. Now known risks are those that can be uncovered after careful evaluation of the project plan, the business and technical environment in which the project is being developed. So or you take the other information. So these are all known risk. If you take example, say if the delivery date is unrealistic, then it will become a known risk, because if we are not able to complete the project in time before that date, we will not be able to deliver it. That's why the delivery date should be realistic. Then lack of documented requirements or software scope. So this uh, requirements have to be documented properly, and the software scope has to be written properly, because if it is not done, then it will lead to. Then the poor development environment. If the development environment is poor, then that is also add to, because it will take more time for completion of the project or software. Then next is predictable risk and unpredictable risk. So predictable risk are extrapolated from the past project experience. There is, for example, staff turnover, then poor communication with the customer, dilution of staff effort as ongoing maintenance requests or service. So these are all the experiences, or from the past project experience we can note these factors. The dilution of staff effort and maintenance requests are not serviced properly. So these are the risky things. So and we can predict them from the past project. Then coming to the unpredictable risk, they are just like joker in the deck. See, whenever we have the joker in the deck, when they can or do occur, but they are extremely difficult to identify in. The same way, the unpredictable risk, they are just like joker in the deck. We can't predict properly, and it is very difficult to identify. Then coming to the risk identification. Risk identification is a systematic attempt to specify threats to the project plan. So when we are attempting to identify the risk, we'll take the project plan in terms of estimates. different estimates, size, cost, we'll have to take and see where there is a risk. Similarly, scheduling. We look at the schedule and see whether it is possible to complete the work in that schedule. And then resource loading. Now here the resources within the organization and the number of projects going on. So depending on that, we'll have to uh, make this resource loading so that uh, we can identify the risk based on that. Then by identifying known and predictable risk, the project manager takes a first step towards avoiding them when possible and controlling them when necessary. So when a project manager identifies the risk, then we can avoid the risk and or control them when, that is the use of risk. And types of risk. So here we have two distinct types of risk for each categories that we have discussed. So first is the generic risk. They are the general risk. They are common for say every software. And then we have the product specific risk. So here the product specific risk can be identified only by those with a clear understanding of the technology. So those who are having clear understanding of the technology, they only can identify the product risk. The people and the environment that is specific to the software that is to be. See, the people here means the software team and the environment, that is the different platforms and other things. So if person knows the technology, the software team and the environment, he can identify the product specific. To identify the product specific risk, uh, the project plan and software statement of scope are examined. So the and the answer to the following question is developed: what special characteristics of the product may threaten our project? So these are possible with the help of expert only. So you'll just uh, look into the project plan and the statement of scope, and accordingly you can find out the difference. Then next is risk atom checklist. So this is one of the method of identifying the risk. So here we create a risk atom checklist, and the checklist can be used for risk identification and focuses on some subset of known and predictable risk in the following category subcategories we can call. First is the product size. So risk associated with the overall size of the software to be built or modified. So that the product size, already the estimation has been done, and we can take the product size and find out whether there is a risk in it or. And business impact, risk associated with constraints imposed by management or the market. See, the business factor will be affected by the constraint imposed by the management in terms of cost and other things, or the marketing of that product. And second is the marketplace, that is nothing but the competition. So these two things will affect the uh, business. That's why the risk are calculated accordingly. The next is stakeholder characteristics. So these risks are within the sophistication of stakeholders and developers' ability to communicate with stakeholders in timely manner. So if the stakeholders are communicating properly to developer and stakeholder, they are communicating properly and within time, then the risk will be reduced. Then the next is process definition. Risk associated with the degree of which the software process has been defined and followed by the development organization. So this will be done if the process is defined in details, then the risk will be less. If it is not defined, then it. The next is development environment. So here, development environment, we mean the platform. So the availability of and quality of tools to be used to build the product. Even that will matter. So if the quality of tools is not good and their availability is also important, then only it will be possible to develop the project in time. Otherwise, it will become a risk. Then the technology to be built. Here, complexity of the system and the newness or the technology, if it is unknown, then it will lead to risk, because the team members, they will have to learn the technology before the implementation. Then staff size and experience. So here, overall technical and project experience of the software engineer who will do the work, that is important. If most of the members are new or they don't have experience, then it will become. That's why it should be a mixed team with both experience as well as new members. Then the risk atom checklist can be organized in different ways. So questions related to each topic can be answered for each software project. So that's why uh, when we are analyzing or say identifying the risk, then at that time we'll be organizing the checklist, and then we'll try to uh, answer the questions. Now the answers to these questions allow you to estimate the impact of the. So this is how the risk atom checklist and the questions associated with each atom, they can be used for estimating the impact of the. So with this, we come to the end of this video. If you have any queries, you can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Instagram, or you can put a query on the website engineeringonline4u.com. Then if you like the video, press the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel Engineering and Technology for You. And don't forget to press the bell icon, because the videos, future videos, if you want to get notifications, now in here this is a crucial time, then at that time you will not have to search the videos, you directly get the notification as you subscribe and press the bell icon. Then thanks for watching. Have a nice day.